Okay, this is the men's 200 meter freestyle at the 2025 Toronto Grand Prix Heat 3. We're looking at lane 6, Connor MacDonald. Let's watch the race and then we'll do an analysis after. Okay, well, that was a super consistent looking race. There's the times on the board, so let's come back to the start. So, let's see, going frame by frame, we can see that go is going to happen right around now-ish. Looking for what moves first here. I'm starting to pan right, so I'm expecting that go has been said. Tenseness we can see on that frame that go you are reacting. Back leg firing, love that. Good extension on that back leg. Watching that back foot kick up like that, maybe there's a bit of misdirection of force. Maybe you're letting it almost kind of slip and kick high rather than push down and back. Good extension on that front leg. But we see we're kind of falling rather than arcing into the water, albeit pretty smooth entry. Bit more tenseness in the core, in the trunk. A good way to activate that is by squeezing the glutes. That's also going to keep our legs snappy, keep them snapped together as we're launching out into the air, and kind of help us have an elastic entry with some tension, not rigidity, but also not being loose. But to be honest, pretty darn good entry. Watching that 200 initially, definitely have the start of a recurring theme for you. Very short underwaters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5 kicks underwater. Let's extend that. There are 4 phases of any race. There's the dive, there's the underwater after the dive, underwater after the wall, excuse me, and the swim itself. In that order, it's fastest to slowest, theoretically. Lots of people are slower on their underwaters after a wall than they are with their actual swimming, but based on efficiency and potential power and potential outcomes, swimming should be the slowest part of any swim. Despite that, the dive and the underwater after the dive are absolutely, without a doubt, faster than any swim is going to ever be. You're moving more meters per second here than you would be if you were the fastest swimmer in the world. Let's use that velocity. Let's use that momentum to our advantage. And critically, let's extend the number of meters in a race that we are operating at a higher velocity. Let's check out the breakout now. A little deep maybe, but honestly not poorly timed. Just, you can see that there's still water in your back here. You know, water is nice that it gets out of our way, but it still weighs a lot. If you think about a 750 milliliter bottle of water, well, you know, a little bit bigger and you've got a liter of water in that amount of space, that volume, and a liter is 2.2 pounds or a kilogram. How big is your back? Because I'd say you've probably got a few inches of water on your back, so you've probably got a number of liters on your back, right? You're lifting 10, 20, is it 30 pounds? Probably not. But why lift water when we can slip out from under it? You do a pretty good job there, but nonetheless, I think you could play around with that a little bit. Be a little higher in the water before you take that first stroke. Something to consider as well. Starting our race with a breathing stroke. Breathing is suboptimal, essentially. If we could not breathe, we wouldn't breathe, but you know, we gotta breathe, so we do. And good breathing is critically defined as, you know, it doesn't affect our stroke. That's what the litmus test for it being good is that it doesn't get in our way. It's clearly not a good thing. I'd prefer races where our first couple of strokes every length are establishing strokes. Do the stroke for a couple of strokes that you want to be operating at. The pace, the speed, the cadence, the hold, and then get your breath in. That last turn was another one that was very short, maybe only a couple kicks out. Use those walls to your advantage. You've got such a long, easy stroke. You look like you're out for a Sunday swim, which is great. You can see you're working hard. But it's looking so easy to you. So that's awesome. You're traveling over the water really well. But let's use those walls to our advantage. It's going to help you get to the next level. Looking like you got a pretty good hold here. I can empathize with a 200-meter freestyle with breathing every single stroke cycle rather, but I would still prefer less breathing if we can manage that. And I would certainly, if you want to pull a tactic or a strategy out, you know, when are you breathing every a stroke? And you know, inversely, when aren't you? Do you make a move? Because I mean, you're blowing some kids out of the water here, which is awesome. Great jets on. You know, the afterburners are rocking, but they'd be on a lot harder if you weren't breathing too. And I mean, you know, I would love to see, you know, holding the breath for an extended period of time, but even getting a breath every other stroke would aid you. That move there where you decide head down, swim in for it. Can you extend that strategy? Extend that tactic farther and farther out in distance? I think it's only going to help you. That was a really cool race, man. Nice job. Great race. Hopefully that was a good time. Looking good.